Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I want to share with you a conversation where myself and Jarvie from Peakmonsters got together and we were talking about deck management tools within the Peakmonsters website. If you guys know me, then you know this is my favorite market for Splinterlands related assets. And in part it is that because they have so much innovation around the tools and techniques that they allow us, I guess, to use through their site. And this is just the growth of that. I want to share this because it's my first reaction to the beta announcement, and you're going to see my honest reactions to what this might mean for really transferring, sharing, and growing Splinterlands meta knowledge for human players, because I really think it's going to be a library of knowledge. And so I think this is going to be a tool that human players can use to better understand the best teams and how to win more within Splinterlands. For that reason, I'm excited, but there's so much more. I hope you'll stick around for this conversation, and just special thank you to Jarvie. Guys, check out Peakmonsters. Have an amazing day. God bless. Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I'm hanging out with Jarvie, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend behind the Peakmonsters. And so first of all, Jarvie, thanks for coming to hang out, buddy. And second of all, you wanted to share something with me that, guys, before we went live, he telling me some bold stuff about how we're all going to be using this. I believe him, and I'm excited to learn what we're here to talk about. Yeah. So let's walk through it, buddy.
Okay, before we do it, if you do end up using this video to share, everyone has to know that we're making changes to this every day, and it won't come out for another week. But we wanted to get you and a couple other YouTubers and some top level players, I've been meeting with them, to get them to know what's going on so they can be running out the gate, because not just to give you some unfair advantage, but so because you guys will be able to help everyone else with what you do here. So I guess this is kind of like a first reaction for you of sorts. So you're on the beta site right now, which is where we're testing it. It's kind of on the down low, even though it's, I guess, technically open to anyone if they stumble across it. We're just hoping no one finds it for a few days. All right. So are you on the beta site? I
am. I'm beta Peakmonsters. And just so you know, Jarvie, I won't release this until you tell me so. And if there's like out of date components, maybe there'll be something where I'll edit in like a comment on that sort of thing. So yeah.
Well, I assume maybe you'd be using it again and show them how. This is kind of more like a,
it's a first opening. It's a first reaction. When you say that, like clearly, I don't hear you speak that way very often. That sort of confidence that you shared before we started recording, and I mean, I think I've said this to you lots of times. I say this on the channel all the time. I use your guys' service regularly. It's my favorite of this sort of service, and I love the tools you guys are creating. So when you speak confidently like that, I give it a lot of weight. So I'm looking forward to hearing about what we're seeing here. Yep.
Yeah, and we're I feel strongly enough that we're integrating this throughout our entire site. Like, so many pages are going to be changed by what we're doing right now.
Cool.
So you're going to want to log in, though.
Okay.
It's only for logged in, so.
Okay.
There we go. So what new do you see? It's a little blurry on my end just because of the Discord connection. So there we go. I see enough to know where you're at.
Okay.
So top left-hand corner menu.
My decks.
There you are.
Oh. Hang on a second. Okay, so explore decks created by the community. Okay. Name, Lamacron fungus, creator, type, battle others. Interesting. Modern. Okay. And then is this would this be? What I'm seeing is, or I think I'm seeing is like decks that people have created from the community. The creator is known. The name of the deck is known. It's got even looks like a fingerprint, like on the blockchain, I suppose. And that's like they're almost like Gringotts created a package of cards, and that package is these guys here. And is it it's rentable by package? It's buyable by price. That's neat. So like now this doesn't mean that Gringotts is both selling it and renting it. It means that like if you want to buy this, it would be that price, $227.33. Market price for some cards not available. Got it. And then if you want to rent this, it's not coming from Gringotts exactly. It's like this is just his package of idea that works well. Is that correct?
Yeah, you're getting it. You're getting it. And the one that's not rentable is that fungus because it's a soulbound. So
Cool. I can, and you know what, right out the gate too, what I'm seeing in looking at this idea for like a desirable team presented by this creator Gringotts, somebody was telling me to like be on the lookout for combinations where the martyr is very powerful and then to feature that. And I can see right out the gate that this is going to be a cool way to explore what other people think is powerful and meta, because the fungus with the martyr in front of your Kron the Undying, so that the martyr will die and then the Kron gets that martyr benefit before it goes last stand. That would be really, really cool.
yep.
Cool.
So you get a bunch of cool ideas, and those are you did see the difference that there's battle types and other types, right? And right now others is still like pending. We are looking for a different name than just other.
Help me think through,
So,
like, what is the purpose of this quote unquote type? Like, I'm lost there.
battle types are ordered and limited to 7. Others are unlimited, or well, 250 in the deck
Okay. So you can,
is the limit.
so essentially like every account is capable of structuring their own deck, my quote unquote, my deck within certain formats. Like I can make, you said 7 battle types. And then
7 cards.
yeah.
7 cards in a battle type.
Oh, got you. And then the others,
It's a
how big?
lineup. Would it be better if we named it lineup?
I see a lineup makes me more clear because it's like,
Okay.
yeah, because
You're the
battle
second person.
battle
Agree with
makes me
that.
think that it's only functional in like for maybe it's only functional in rank battle, and then other makes
Okay.
me like other makes me think tournaments or something.
Okay. We could call that one collection. We can call that one random. I don't know. I don't know if to. I mean,
Yeah,
we're just in the building phase, and
yeah.
you know, we've got several days. I mean, really, he's only been working on it for about a week. We've thought about this for 6, 7 months now.
Mhm.
We've been planning on it, and just so many other things have come up, and we finally cleared off the calendar, and we've got 6, 7 days. So like,
Love it.
and we would release it later this week, but he's going out of town for a few days,
Hmm.
so next week is the release.
So my brain is like already spinning with like how this could be useful, and one of the ways I would see it being useful is like what I said, people coming through and seeing. Essentially, it's almost a place where you would like share what you think is really powerful. It's like it feels like a Reddit type experience where it's like, how Reddit, you like you feature an
Mm-hmm.
idea or a meme or whatever, something that people can then look at and enjoy, and they might thumbs up or thumbs down, and builds, like if you present a build like this or whatever, whether you call it battle or whatever it ends up being called,
Mm-hmm.
it essentially could be thumbs up, thumbs down. That's excellent. I love that. It really, really works. And or it doesn't, and it shouldn't receive as maybe as high of attention. That I see that as being like almost a way to scroll through a conversation about what is currently powerful, and then accessing that through the marketplace in a really relatively easy way. Is there something more here that you're like, I'd love to hear what's the intention or the hope or the goal for this sort of product, and is it greater than I just said, or is it like, is that the core of the idea?
Yeah, so we will have well, presently we already have the thumbs up, which is the star at the end, that you can go through like a shopping cart and go, I like this one, star,
Mhm.
star, star. And then you'll have your own, you know, section of just your favorites, right?
Yep, I see
That
that
you
here.
can go through and you're like, I like that one, I like that one, I like that one. I don't have these cards, so I'm not going to favorite it, blah, 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 right?
Mm.
So,
Ooh, And then I'm thinking now, I see all alpha edition, and it took me a second to kind of process this. This could be really helpful from the perspective of like quickly, easily packaging, like for your upcoming brawls. Because I do.
If you're doing a brawl and you say it's a gold level alpha, then you can look. That's the fourth one down, gold level alpha,
Yeah.
and you could go, oh, for 1,249, I can rent all 60 something, 65 of them. I
Cool.
can't remember.
That's really cool because I do the alpha beta promo reward brawl, and then I never know. I always wonder, like, you know, what if I like it's cool to be able to see the prices between, for instance, the alpha, just the alpha, and then the gold, and then, you know, I could actually see a bit of a depiction of how much more it would cost me to fill in for a frag for somebody that might, you know, because we have certain frays that go unfilled sometimes. Well, I can see there's the price tag versus the price tag up here.
Yeah, so you could make decks inside of your brawls, your guilds, for like different brawls, right? That work really well for that brawl, and someone can just jump in and with hopefully one click is the hope to rent everything. However, a lot of people have half of the cards and, you know, don't have half of the other cards. So we'll make it so that they can still rent what they don't have very quickly. So
walk me through what you're imagining, because that sounds like maybe that's not quite ready, or is that ready at this point?
That is what he's working on today, maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
So if you go and click on one of those, it's not going to look super pretty. It's just going to have a placeholder. Eventually this will be line by line and will tell you what level you have this card at, what level you have this card playable at, what this card rents for, and then quick actions to be able to rent right away, right? So you're like, oh, I see. I quickly see the 10 I don't have. Instead, because you don't need to rent them all if you don't have, if you have some of them.
That's great. So if I have Silver Shield Paladin, Air Elemental, Golem, but maybe I'm lacking the others, or whatever the case may be, some combination of I already have those and don't have the others, it's going to recognize that, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and then you'll be able to rent them quickly. So, I mean, I'm still waiting on that to be finished. So, I mean, but that's the concept.
Yeah, that's great.
Is that all that information will be there nice and easy for you to be able to either buy them all or rent them all, so someone can come in and there's another one. So this is most all of these are been created by me, but if you click on Peakmonsters up there, Peak-Monsters, yeah, click on that. You'll see all of the decks that I created.
Okay.
That represent just, so you'll see all rewards, all alpha, all beta, all untamed. So which one are you interested? You can use the filter on the right hand side and just type in whatever you want, like chaos or whatever it is.
Is this a thing where the names are going to be a customizable, or is it going to be a thing where the system?
Yeah, you change the name. So we're going to walk you through creating one real fast. So you have to hit apply.
Yeah, hang on a second. There was something I wanted to say before we move on to there. I wanted to comment quickly on, I think it's really, really powerful that the system can recognize what I have and say, out of these 44 cards or whatever, you need these 27. Because right now I've got one Peakmonsters window open where my own collection, and I've got one Peakmonsters. So that's really powerful, Jarvie, that you would aim at doing that. But now you want to help me create one. Let's try that. So what do we do?
Yeah, well, do like a Chaos Legion one, because we just looked at all the alpha ones already.
Okay. So how do I
Chaos there?
So do I? Is there a create button first, or is it just right here?
Oh, the filter
over here.
We're just gonna look at something more on the filter.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep, and now hit apply. So here's a bunch of different ways of looking at the different Chaos Legion type stuff. I There's even like a gold foil as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got so you can see like what I think I'm trying to point out is look at that one. There's a Chaos Legion edition. So if someone came in here and is like, I've never played this game, it's fun, I've rented with Nifty Arcade, and now I'm just gonna whale in and buy max level
Yeah.
every Chaos Legion, right?
Yep.
And so it costs $5,440, right?
Cool.
And so they could click that and buy all of them all at once. Just boom, done.
Super cool. One thing that pops to mind, and I don't want to derail you, but I just, as these things come to me, I want to share them. I love this. Sounds amazing. One thing I know we're talking about purchasing right now, but I'm from a rental perspective. What strikes me as valuable is if there is an acknowledgement that sometimes there isn't enough liquidity to supply. So like what in that previous screen under the alphas, there was a little thing saying one of them isn't available in the market.
Yes.
It would be really cool if the system could recognize, well, just as an example, maybe we don't have, like we have all of these, but let's say we didn't have a diamond shark level 8. Well, the highest available is a level 7. If you want this package, we can do it, but we got to do these modifiers, and that would be maybe one thing to make it even more kind of seamless from the acquisition side. That where you'd potentially get even more dollars spent on renting or more dollars spent on buying, because that convenience is like, well, you might not have that alpha gold foil, level 3, but you got a level 2, and that's part of the way. So let's pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, and if we think about all the ones that Agrid is creating for Nifty Arcade, and those people that are going to be using silver or bronze and then silver Chaos Legion packs, they're listed somewhere there. The problem is the naming is, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably one down.
Okay.
So they're silver at $68. So they're playing with it for a month, and then that's it. They can't play with it anymore after that. So the hope is that they'll just grab that, or they'll rent it. So either they're going to buy it for $68 and own it, or they're going to just click that button and for 36 DEC a day, which is, like 28 cents a day.
Wild.
They'll have that exact same experience that they were having on Nifty Arcade, but for themselves.
Really cool. Really cool. I love seeing that. That's going to be fun to track too. We talked about how this tool might show like an insight into meta, but it also might show an insight into market changes, because you could come here and like track this all Chaos Legion rewards at the silver level, and you could just watch this number change over the months and years to come.
Yeah, so I would even, people should go in there with the Lego spreadsheet and look at these numbers and track them from time to time. I don't think that's going to be our next upcoming feature ourselves, but you can easily track the price movement on these things really nicely.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Yeah, I think this seems exceedingly like really, really convenient. You know what I mean? Because and what would it be like? Is your imagination that there'd be essentially like a buy button? Like you click on the money, or maybe when you hover over the dollar sign, there's like a buy or something?
Yeah, I mean, we're still working on the creation abilities right now, but yeah, I think something like that. I think Asgarth has something up his sleeves. Probably in the drop down, when it drops down, maybe there's a buy all. Mm-hmm. I think that'll be easier to have it listed there, because we're just a little bit limited on space in that summary view. So, or a pop up. I didn't think about that.
If you hover over the dollar sign, it could turn into a buy now, or it could turn it. The DEC number could turn into a rent now, maybe.
Rent all, rent all now. Yeah, okay. I like that. I will suggest that to him. It may actually be pretty doable, unless he has any technical like limitations on that.
Yeah.
But we do a lot with pop-ups, so that could work.
Because it does look it looks really clean right now. I the one question mark, or maybe like kind concern I would have would be like in the naming conventions, because I just know, and from years of working in different proprietary storage company systems, like this computer system, this job, that job, they all have different ways of file organization, and every user trying their own name, it might just be bogged down with a confusing system. It might be, maybe you guys offer a default, like, when you're playing a video game and you create a new hero, it just gives you like John Doe is his name. You can modify it if you want, if you see value in doing that. But like the game will tell you it's.
I did think about that for a moment, but I had no clue on what the default would be because I've made dozens of these. And pretty much I'm one of the only people that's made them
Mhm.
through different accounts. But I couldn't think of a good default. So if you come up with one,
Yeah.
not right now on on the
Sure. Sure.
spot,
Sure.
but like if you come up with one, it would be great because then we could give a default because it's just like it became hard for me to think of something interesting to name it.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there's
These ones were
the
easy,
balance
but the
between,
battle ones are hard.
there's a difference between like utilitarian names that convey meaning and like almost a sales pitch name. Because if you were compiling, like if I was creating, for instance, a list of my own, if I want to, let's say, get, like we talked about, get as many stars as I want, desirable,
Uh-huh.
it would be desirable for me as a creator to generate lists that are going to be kind of captivating, and that starts with a name. But also, if we want the tool, the site itself to be maximally, I guess, functional, it could get bogged down with entries that are, well, maybe they just never get discovered. Maybe good entries never get discovered. I don't know. I'll think through that a little bit offline when we're done here.
All right, well, let's talk about discovery.
Hmm.
You did click on the username Peakmonsters, and so here is a landing page where if I were a content creator talking about different things and giving people suggestions of what they should be renting or playing with and
Yeah.
battle decks they should be playing with. Oh, this would probably be the place I'd send them. So I could imagine something like infidel,
Hmm.
peakmonsters.com/infidel, /decks being a possibility in the future.
Cool.
Um, and so that's linkable. And then next to the name, you see a link icon. The actual deck itself is linkable as well.
Mm.
And that little icon that's next to it.
Mm.
There you
So
go.
I can.
Yeah. So
This is like a
if you
copy.
click on,
This is a copy of it, right? Like it's essentially, here's the link to find this, right?
yeah. So you could send that. You could put that in a YouTube. You could put that in a Hive post. You could put that in Discord. All that sort of stuff, and it would link to that. Right now, that's not going to work because it links to Peakmonsters, and this isn't on Peakmonsters. It's only on beta right now. So,
But yeah, I
just
just want to also
FYI.
say to anybody who's going to watch this later, it's on my screen underneath my picture on my.
Yep,
It
we
says,
see it. I see it at
yeah,
least. So.
deck linked to clipboard. But yeah, Jarvie's saying it's not active at this moment, but it's conceivable that this would be a way to essentially package and then communicate.
Yes.
This idea or this team, this squad or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
so they can be shared through Discord or wherever else.
Yep. So, and then I'll give you a little insight of what's happening as well. It's coming out maybe later this week, maybe early next week. We're going to have something called Deck Pros. Deck Pros. So we're going to identify certain users in 3 different qualifications: the top players, the top content creators, and just other people that have a lot of people favoriting their stuff or viewing it. We'll keep track of the statistics,
Cool.
and we will give them a special invite to be a deck pro. So consider this, Dwayne, your official invite.
Ah, nice.
If you would like to be a deck pro, your creator name will turn a different color. There'll be a pro next to it. And finally, there will be a filter on the right-hand side that will filter the decks by just those that are the most likely to give people the best quality decks.
That's really cool.
So,
People will want to know, and I think you already answered this, but people will want to know if they produce quality kind of lists and people start recognizing them, would they be able to sort of achieve that threshold?
yes. So if they start getting their decks seen a lot, we'll keep track of, behind the scene analytics, but also if there's a lot of favorites, right?
Yeah.
If there's a ton of favorites and no one's actually viewing them, then we know there's funny business going on.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. That's great. That's great. That's exciting.
And then eventually in the behind the scenes, we'll eventually get to the point where we can start tracking some, like maybe rent analytics or buy analytics and see what's going on there and stuff.
Cool.
So,
yeah, this seems like it could be a way that really hopefully through the convenience, it will spark more of that like bulk rental or bulk purchase. It seems like it would.
Yeah. I mean, that's our hope
for
sure. All right, let's walk you through creating one real fast. Let's walk you creating through a lineup one, and what the best way to do it. If you go to Buy Me, you'll see the build and the import on the top right hand.
Okay.
So import is the fastest way to do a lineup deck.
Mm-hmm.
So and what you'll need for that is a battle ID link. So go to your most recent battle and or one that you are proud of.
Okay. I don't want to spend too much time looking for. Oh, you know what? This is actually, hang on, something like that.
One that you're like, I use this one a lot. This is a good one to share.
Yeah,
you can always delete later if you don't want to spend too much time.
So this one,
this one.
How do I grab it? This thing?
You hit the little share battle.
Okay.
And then hit copy.
Okay.
And now go back to there, type it in, and then select yourself.
Okay.
And hit continue.
Cool.
And then all of them are entered in the correct order. And the rules that were used in that game were by default selected. You see the box outline on that one?
Yeah.
But you can look at this and say, this is actually going to be good in these other rules as well.
So yeah, yeah, because it definitely, I don't like this deck in like a silent summoners or that's interesting. I like this in
yeah, wouldn't it be good for because there is a non-black card in there, a neutral card. So
yeah, like it from Equal Opportunity. I like it. Yeah, that's really cool. Melee from any position.
If they were all melee, that would be a good one for that. But there's a non-melee, or there's a few non-melees in there. 2 of them.
Yeah. I like having the taunt when I'm doing like certain like for instance, super sneak or equal opportunity.
This is a good one for broken arrow as well.
Yeah.
Because there's no
and
ranged.
Weak magic. Where's weak magic? Weak magic. Where's broken arrow?
It's
right there.
Oh, you just passed it. Yep. There's no arrow guys in there.
And yeah, I like this a lot. This is. I like how I could go through and spend as much time as I want on essentially, this is communicating pictorially what I know intuitively when I play the game, which is like I'm going through when I play the game, I'm going through a thought process of, okay, death is available. I have a strong 1-2 punch over here with these guys. But one of the main vulnerabilities with my Lord of Darkness is he is weak to magic. So I want to bring Thaddeus Brood for the negative magic. I want to bring the silence over here. I want to bring the silence over here. And it's great if I can bring if I have the mana cap to work with it, I want to bring a Dark Huan as a distraction, as a to allow my main damage dealer more time to do what he does best. And so there's a pictorial right now, a pictorial representation of what I am already intuitively knowing as a player, which is which is really cool.
And then you could hit public on that one. I think it's a great one. I think what separates maybe a deck pro from just someone grabbing battle links is their ability to identify all the strengths of a certain deck. You know, like this is going to be good in these other areas as well. So, and so
Okay.
that's the yeah.
Cool. So it's auto populating. Essentially, this is my opinion about at Max League with this element, what could be an interesting team to consider. And
right now it's not public, just so you know.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, so you'd have to go back to edit it.
Okay.
And click on the public thing on the top left area.
And then one more time, help me understand the difference between battle and other. Again, it kind of escapes me. I know you're working on those names, but
ordered. They're ordered. They are ordered, and there's a limit of 7.
Okay. And then
so the order matters on this one. And it's a limit of 7, and it has league, and it has rules, and it has mana cap and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
The other ones don't have that stuff like mana and league and
Gotcha.
element and all that stuff.
This one is almost like a team that would work, and the other one is almost like a deck that would work that you would want. Is that a good way of saying it?
Yes.
Yeah. This is like a battle, like a team you might submit for a battle, and here's why it would work, and here's when it would work, and here's what it would cost. And the other one is like, here's a deck of cards that you might desire if you're just getting started, and it's a broader, bigger package. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I mean, I guess we could change it to lineup versus package. Lineup. I like the lineup, and then I almost wonder if it's like a deck. You know what I mean? Like is it? Well, the whole entire thing is called
You're right.
decks.
You're right. I don't have wisdom for you in that, but I do. I think I understand. I do understand now what we're aiming at here. And then
package collection.
Market price for some cards not available. Okay, so
it's
telling me, it's saying 6 out of 7 of them are available and you could buy them. And is it saying that they would cost that amount of money for the levels I've shown, like level 8 Thaddeus?
Yes.
And okay. That's really, really cool. See, what I'm going to want to do for myself is I'm going to go through, I'm going to create others, not battles. I'm going to create some others, and I'll do Alpha Beta Gold promo white, Alpha Beta Gold promo red, Alpha Beta Gold promo blue, and I'll do it individually for each of them because I'm going to want to track the cost to buy, the cost to rent, the availability for each of them at the level that I want. Because I'm going to want like when those phrases come around, at times I want, for instance, I just want to get blue and red this brawl maybe, or maybe I want to get them all because it's a really tough brawl. I'm up against like Peakmonsters on the other side there. I got to be ready so we can get that W, and I gotta I gotta rent all the cards.
Which league?
We're in tier 4. We're in tier 4.
Yeah, I mean, which league? Which league?
I'm in. It's like I forget what number it is, but it's the Alpha Beta Gold promo. Alpha Beta.
That one.
It's the tier 18 or something.
Okay, I do 19.
No, I'm tier 15. My bad, Fray 15. So Alpha Beta, all cards, diamond level.
Okay, okay. So I do gold foil, gold level. Which is a tough one, expensive one to do.
Yeah, it would be. Cool, man. This looks amazing.
Yeah. Thanks. We're gonna pump out a few new things for it in the next few days, but generally it's ready to go for building. And if you hit the build button and then you hit other, right now it's presently called other, then you can just select up
Yeah.
to 200 cards, 250 technically, but
Cool.
um but if you've got like a certain level you want them to be at, don't forget to set that
Yeah.
over on the right hand side, because then it will turn all of those to
Brilliant.
that. But at any point you can change the level of them too.
Yeah.
So that'll
Can
just make it fast.
can you call for it essentially? Can you label it gold? Like, or can you tell it, hey, I want golds? And then could you manually, in certain situations, get into the minutia of, I'm actually.
Yeah, click a couple.
Okay, so we go boom, boom, boom.
Do you see next to the card? So go up now that are
Yeah.
in the deck.
Yeah.
You can change it to gold foil, and you can change the level.
That's great, because that's exactly what I want for my fray preparation, because there are certain situations where I'm okay. I play a diamond level, but I'm okay with getting a level 3, like what's it called? Like Ruler of the Seas, even you can get away with a level 3 versus a level 4 in the diamond level, or there's lots of examples like that, and you're kind of okay sometimes. So it can be a cost savings mechanism too, if you, or the some of the dragons, like that dragon. What's the one? There's a dragon card that's 1 mana, and it's does 2 magic sneak damage. There it is, the Shinlo. It's so nasty. If you get this thing at level 3, you're happy. You don't need a level 4. It's so rare. You're not likely to find it if you're insisting. No, it has to be a level 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Cool, man.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see all the different more collection-based decks, and then the lineup decks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's going to be. It might be. I think this will ultimately be a very powerful tool that would be really desirable for a wide range of people. New people who have no idea and are curious about what works. Content creators who are looking for other people's ideas about what is currently meta and exploring that conversation by, analyzing the decks that are being starred, and looking at what the pros have to say. And then maybe you could have like a top 5 this week, like of non-pros. Like here's 5 things that have really been getting a lot of stars, and they're not pros.
Yeah.
And then that if they start, that can maybe be something cool that people would pop in just to see, like, hey, did my deck make it? And it might spark like an excitement and an enjoyment in the process of thoughtfully creating the lineup or the collection or whatever we call it.
Yeah. Sure.
Looks
and
great.
Then I look forward to the day when there's a ton of cool lineup decks as well, so that I can, because I have the hardest time. I never play max level, and so I decided, Splinterlands got me.
Mm-hmm.
They got me to start playing Diamond with their Soulbound reward card stuff, and I am lost on there half the time. I just don't know what to play because there's so many things going on. I'm a gold league type person.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I just I don't know what to do, and so I want to have it up and ready so I can just research and go, oh, that's a good idea, and be able to kind of educate myself by going through. I mean, the top battles are all the same person. Look at how it's all rad cakes.
Yeah.
Every time.
What makes me think though?
Just rad cakes.
As I listen to. As I think about the utility of this device, I think to myself, I get beat sometimes by some of the best, and I say to myself, wow, I'd never try that. So now I want to go through the gold leaderboard, and I want to go through the diamond leaderboard, and I want to look at the top battles, and I almost want to if I see something, because I know I will, if I'm paying attention, I'm going to find things that are strikingly effective.
Uh-huh.
And then you can grab them and capture them and record them in this way with the tool you're creating that will be, an index of knowledge, like we said earlier, like a pictorial representation of what is intuitively known by really brilliant Splinterlands players, but now can be, learned and taught in this powerful way. That's what I'm seeing here.
I mean, you yourself, when you're playing and you do one, you just know when it clicks, and you're like, man, that was a good idea, and that came from me, and you want to record it for next time when your brain's not functioning as well and you're like, I had this, man, I was playing really good the other day, and at least you could record it and put it into your decks.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even share it publicly with other people because that's how you are, or not, either way. So.
Yeah. Yeah, this makes me think about. I've just recently been getting into Reddit, and I go over there for like Lord of the Rings living card game stuff, and some people will propose like this is the deck I use for my card game, and essentially then people thumbs up, thumbs down it, and it starts this whole conversation of, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And that is essentially what I'm seeing here, like this really cool, and people I think will want to participate for their own. For one, a joy of talking about what they love and the success that they've found, but two, for maybe the public, the joy and and maybe the dopamine hit of like receiving public appreciation for like, you know, recognizing a build that really makes sense.
Yeah. And like I was saying about content creators, I look forward to watching as a player, not just as someone that created the site, but as a player. I would love to watch a video that's basically them walking through the deck that they created and maybe showing them playing it a few games and why this deck is really good. And you know, putting a link there, and I'd go over and favorite it, and like now I understand the concept of this meta that they've created through their deck, and it's like, all right, okay, cool. Like, you know, like if someone's saying, oh, here's a very cheap one that you could do, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna send that to some friends that are starting up and just like, hey, go watch this guy's video about whatever, you know. And a lot of you guys are doing like top 10 type things when a new edition comes out. Like, here's my favorites, and it's just like, you know, make a little you know, quick deck. It takes like a minute, and then link it in the video, and then I can follow along looking at them all. So
Look at these. Yeah, because there are builds that are very powerful that like are recognized as being powerful by the top tier that aren't necessarily understood by us or by average people. Because like I'm looking at these are top games, top battles from the Diamond League level, and one of them is the one that I see all the time, which is where to go. So you use Mylor, or it doesn't have to be Mylor, but Mylor certainly works. And you go Failed Summoner with the 2 mana tank. Epona is such a strong 1 mana like addition, but not everybody has Epona, but if you do, it fits so well. You get the Chimera Princess for the heal/triage. Jin Bilka. Sometimes it includes, instead you'll bring that archer with the poison and the 2 mana. There he is, the Acid Suitor. This is essentially the same build, except for they got Cambio in there. So the point is, like, this is a thing, but like I'm noticing Saigai did it, Jack did it. Like, I mean, they're mirror images, and somebody won, and it happened the same down here too. And Gegner did it, and Too Curious, like essentially like a rep. They're mirror matching each other pretty much because they understand what is really, really the top of the top. And to capture this stuff would be really helpful for people who are newer that aren't going to necessarily know that. And maybe it sets out a shopping list too, because then it becomes like, well, it works so often. It maybe win percentage knowledge is known to you through, you know, data. You could imagine also like the decks could have, it could say like, you know, how often does it win when it's in these rule sets? Maybe it's like a 52%, 60% win rate. I don't know if that data is hard to hold on to, and maybe it takes a server space that you don't have, but just the point is, it's going to be a powerful thing where people are going to learn what other people already know. And that's really cool.
Yep. And I think that it's, you know, something we can look to afterwards to see how well they.
Think I'm losing you, Jarv.
The favorites and the views and all that stuff. So.
Cool. You cut out a bit there, Jarvie, but we're coming up on an hour here. Is there anything else about this one?
That's it. I just wanted to get you going and maybe creating some. And if you start getting interested in creating, and then let us know.
Cool.
And we'll add you to a deck pro. I think we're gonna have like a minimum limit. You know, like you have to have at least created this amount.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I think I'm going to be playing with it today. It sounds like it's a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be something that I look forward to hearing from you, that like you're ready for this to be, I guess, more shared, because I definitely want to talk about this. Seems really, really amazing.
sweet, sounds good. That's all I got for you.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate your time.
All right, have a good one.
Have a good afternoon. Bye for now.